What's up, pickleheads? This is a pickleball paddle. This is a tennis racket made for two different sports, and these two different sports are played in two different ways. So why would I grip them the same? Today I want to explain how I grip my pickleball paddle versus how someone grips a tennis racket, because this way can improve your pickleball game. So stick around. So here's the problem. A tennis racket and lots of pickleball paddles come with this at the end of the grip, full of different bevels. Each bevel has a number, and it will help you to determine, as you probably already know, what type of grip you want to hold. So if I'm trying to hold continental, I'll hold certain numbers on certain areas of my hand, and that's guided by these bevels. But the pickleball paddles that come with this end cap seem to come out at the end instead of straight, just like a tennis racket would. I've asked some tennis pros recently, why does the paddle come out like this at the bottom? Nobody seems to be able to give me a good answer. A decent answer I got is, hey, some of the pros, what they'll do is their pinky will be on the very bottom and their ring finger will be just above it. So for them, in playing tennis, it works out for them. It's just a more comfortable grip to have this humped out. But instead, with pickleball, I don't need that. It just causes inconsistencies because I have this big thing on the end of the paddle, especially the way that I hold the grip. So in contrast, here's my pickleball paddle, straight up and down. My hand does hang off of the paddle when I hold my grip, and so for me this makes sense. I think for anyone that doesn't have a big tennis background like me, you may be a lot more consistent if you don't have this popping out here at the bottom, because that seemed to cause mishits for me because my paddle was going left or going right, just because I had that extra bump on the bottom. Instead, I like to grip mine so that it's straight up and down. So I'll explain how to do that and how you could do it with different types of paddles. And I bet it'll improve your game. So give this a try. So I should also point out the fact that the intention behind this cap on a tennis racket is so that you can hold your hand here approximately, and the racket's not going to slip out of your hand. I don't think it's necessary in pickleball. In fact, it makes my game worse to have it there. So that's why I do it differently. Also, pick up one of our hats. I'll include the link in the description below. You'll instantly become a picklehead, and you'll look pretty cool on the court. These are the 4 items that you'll need: scissors, needle nose pliers. If you don't have needle nose pliers, you can also use a screwdriver, obviously an overgrip. And then this, I will link it down at the bottom. You can get it on Amazon. If you don't want to switch out your current cap, that's fine. I'm going to show you how to do it without even switching this out. Okay, so here's how I grip my paddle. I've already removed the standard grip that it comes with, but I'm going to reuse this, so hang on to it. So typically what I do, I'll remove this big end cap that's meant for tennis. I don't like it for pickleball. I'll remove it. That's what the needle nose pliers are for. Typically there are staples here. So you just remove a few of the staples, and then you come underneath and sort of slide it out. And then this should be able to pop off. And it just slides off, okay? And then we'll put a new one on. If you don't want to remove this, you don't want to pay for or wait for a new cap, the ones I use, that's fine. You can keep that one on. Don't have to go through that process, but make sure you start your overgrip, or sorry, your undergrip at this line right here. So instead of starting way up here at the top, start your undergrip right here below and work your way this way. And I'll show you how to do that here as soon as I put the new cap on. So I do like to replace the cap. This is my new one. I will link it. They're really inexpensive on Amazon. I'll show you what size to get and everything. They seem to fit all of the paddles that I've had, and I've had quite a few different paddles. Next, we'll take our undergrip and we'll start right here, right beneath the cap. Another option that you have with this cap is gluing it on. So you can put some super glue or something underneath there before you put it on if you want. But the grip seems to hold it. I don't think it's really necessary. But if you really want it on there tight, then you can. And then we'll need to cut it. Doesn't need to be a clean cut or anything because we're going to be covering it with an overgrip. So we'll take our same tape that it came with. Again, this is the same standard grip that the paddle came with. Take our tape and just make sure it's on there fairly well. And now we're to our next step. Now we're a little bit straighter than we were before. So I'll take my overgrip. Make sure you remove the plastic film. You want to have sticky side out. And we'll take it here and we'll start it right at the top like you normally would an overgrip. And then just grip it all the way down. But instead of just going straight across this part right here, which is the intersection between the cap and the undergrip, this line, I like to go here twice to keep it extra straight. So I come around here and make sure we're straight, and then I continue down. Now I'm a little bit obsessive compulsive, so something I like to do right here at this point is take my scissors and I like to make a cut because there's so much extra here. Most of these grips are made for tennis rackets, and I save this for my next undergrip. But I'll make my cut from bottom to top, and I'll show you how I do that just right here at an angle. So typically my cut will start, a bit hard to do with the camera, but at the bottom. Make sure to get some good scissors. These are not. And we'll cut it up about to that corner right there. Now we'll pull this tight. This part's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll take my tape that came with the overgrip. Use whatever brand you like, whatever suits your game. I like this one. I like gearboxes. They seem to be tacky enough for me, even when my hands get sweaty. So we'll wrap our tape around there. And then this guy is ready to go. So I'm straight here instead of having that big bump there at the end. And this seems to help me a ton with my grip. So try this out. Give this a try. Let's not, copy tennis and do it the same way that tennis does it just because that's the way we've done it. I think you should try something new and see if this improves your consistency, because it has mine.